So this is what we got today. It is raining outside, as you can tell on the floor. Thankfully, we parked this thing last night, not being driven around. So it's gonna have a little water on the floor, but I'll be able to sweep it up and we'll be fine. But what the issue is with this one, you guys remember I did a video on the wiring issues. See that little thing in there that's flashing every now and again? See if I can do it. Well, there it is, see it flashing? That's supposed to keep mice out of it, but either way, this is not what we're talking about. So this is a ranch truck. It's only driven on the ranch every now and again. The only pavement this truck sees is the farm to market. So it is a ranch truck. And the exhaust, the DEF system is plumb plugged on it. So what are we gonna do? We're going to delete it. Now I went through and I got this delete kit. Again, it's a ranch truck only. All right, you have to, it's only used on the ranch. It's not good. Does not go on the highways, so we can delete this truck. You should only delete them if it's not going to be for highway use. So I'm gonna take the steps, what we do to this thing from start to finish. Won't take long. We are not taking any of this stuff out. We're just deleting it. We're just gonna unplug it. I bought this through Elite Diesel. I will leave a link in the description. It was just, they have their website set up just meant for this right here. Got exactly what we wanted. Do you want the delete kit? Do you want, and it tells you, just like I'm telling y'all, off-road use only. Do you want to have the bypass ports? Do you want all this other stuff? No, I'm just going to unplug it. I'm telling you, just great. Love them. Asked them, make sure it was okay if I put their website on my description. So they were fine with it. They were cool, like, sure, that'd be great. The next thing, when I deleted my truck, remember, highway use only, I got mine through Proven Diesel, and it took them 3 months to ship it to me. I ordered this stuff on Friday afternoon, actually, and it came in Wednesday. This stuff came in yesterday. Today's Friday, so it took a week to get everything in. But anyways, enough yapping. Let's get this done. All right. So as to let all this drain out, or drain off the rain and everything, we're gonna do some other stuff first. So we bought this. There's a plug kit, so you can plug off all the stuff you're gonna plug underneath here, or unplug. And there's only 2 wires, or 3 wires, technically 4 plugs, but I'll show you the 4th plug in a minute. But 3 plugs you gotta worry about. So we got this one right here, and this one right there. These 2 will unplug and we'll zip tie it up out of the way. And then this one's kind of a pain to get to. See if I can zoom in on it. Right there. Enhance. Where'd you go? Yeah, that one right there. We're gonna plug those 3, and then we have to run a wire underneath here. Let's get these 3 unplugged, and then we'll start working on the shift on the fly knob and get it put in. So I'll put you in time lapse just because. I forgot to tell y'all how bad, Jerry, that one sucked. That one just, it's not fun. But also be careful when you zip tie it up there. If you zip tie it up like I did this one, so I zip tie it right there. That is your mass flow air sensor, and it is very picky. I mean, if you move that thing, extend the wire, whatever, she will not be happy, I promise you. So if you're gonna zip tie it like I did, make sure you zip tie it close to the stent and not on the wires. All right, let's get ready for the soft. All right, here's where it's gonna get a little difficult to video. There's just not a lot of room for y'all and me. So this was an old pickup that he bought. Used to be a oil field pickup, and he has existing holes. He has this one here, he has that one right there, and I'm going to try to utilize that one if I can. When you get your soft shift knob, this is what it looks like, okay? And here's the ends. Don't stick them in there yet, okay? You want to fish this through the hole, or through the firewall before you do that. Now, these two, if you have this orientated like that, it doesn't matter which hole they go into. Any hole, doesn't matter. It will be fine regardless. So, again, I don't think I'll be able to video this part of it, because I really don't want to mess these up. If I do, it's not a huge different ordeal, because like mine broke and I just wired mine in. I just don't want to do it on this truck. But this right here is pretty easy. This stuff literally just pulls down, see? So we're just gonna pull it down. Oh man, that was in there. Let me get again, I'll probably do this off camera. Let me get this pulled down, and then we'll see what we can't get ran. And I'll get shots here and there where I'm able to try to show y'all where it has to go through and everything. All right, so there it is. You can orientate these wires however you want. I orientated them out a little bit because it's gonna go, I'm gonna try to fish them down right up in there. And that way they're kind of aimed the direction I want them to go. There's a steering wheel right there. Yeah, do you like, there we go. See, perfect, right? Yeah. Now, this has a little stop or anti-turn on it. All I did was file that out just a little bit because the hole wasn't the right size. It was, again, previous hole. So, got that in there. There's no wrong way to put this switch in here. If you can tell, it's smooth. Okay. It just goes 1 to 5. So all you have to do is just set your knob on there. And like I said, it's smooth. You set your knob on there, put that on 1, and tighten it down. And that's the way it looks with it all the way up, or put together. Yeah, I wish the hole was in a different spot, but it's where the pre-existing hole was, so I used it. I think it did okay. I think it's gonna be fine. It's a little close to it, but it still works. I can turn it up and down, and he has smaller hands than me, so we'll be good. See if I can't do this unenhanced. There we go. So if you look down the side here, you can't tell. There's little grooves in there on how this is supposed to go in there. Again, don't force it. If it doesn't want to go, then pull it out. Try a different orientation. I'm going to stick over here so I can actually see myself. You know what? I need to put you somewhere else. Oh, right in the eyeballs. It's a good thing I can edit most of this out. There we go. Now I can see. Just a little bit. Oh, come on. So if that ain't it, then we'll flip it over the other way. You'll know, it'll clip in. Ah, there it is. See it click? Means you got the torque spec right. Click, click. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to get this all put up in here, and we're going to hide it. You can see if you guys can kind of see. I'll turn the light. It's coming through the firewall there, and I'm just going to run it over to where it needs to go. Then I'll show you where it needs to go. We'll plug it in. All right. So you guys don't fall. So, oh man, if this bucket collapses, I'll be painted. So this right here is what you're gonna unplug, okay? When you're running this right here, you wanna make sure that you don't interfere with this right here, okay? Keep it away from this stuff. You don't, because when you need to pull this off to change it, that's a fuel filter, you don't wanna have to wrestle with this wire that you put in here, okay? This one right here is the one you want to pull out. Get you lifted. Pull the yellow tab up. Be careful, don't break it. This is the only one that doesn't have a clip on it to plug that hole. That hole will be open from now on. This, nice and easy, don't force it. Plugs in, put your retainer, there it is. The delete is now, well, not that it's not done, we've got a lot more to do. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, I wanna try to put this, let me get a zip tie. I'm gonna zip tie this, I think right there. And I'll pull it back this direction over here. Zip tie it over here too, that way it's, just want to make sure, like I said, we want to make sure that it's not going to interfere with this right here. So that's it. You guys, on this part, you don't need to see me zip tie stuff. I'm pretty sure you don't. Just make sure when you cut your zip ties that you leave it at an angle. You want to make sure it's got that sharp point. I'm joking. I'm joking. Or am I? So this is pretty easy. Plug this into your OBD2 form or plug, and then follow the instructions. I'm not gonna do this on the camera for obvious reasons. The guy that owns the truck's on his way. We're gonna plug it in, do the tune. Then we're gonna go underneath there and pull the exhaust out. We just wanna get this tune put in before we unplug the exhaust. And before I forget, make sure you plug one of those in there. The truck doesn't need it, but you want to make sure, especially for the first tune, because it'll take a little while to do the first tune on it. Make sure you have that put in there, or put on there. So, all right. So now we need to go underneath here and eat that dirt clog. There's wires that are plugged in this thing all the way down, okay? Every one of them, except for the one at the very end. And that one, on the very end, there's a hump back there where it goes over the axle. There's one on that. You can leave that one in. But from where this main part hooks up, which is 2 bolts right up here, can't see it because my big fat butt's in the way. From there back, every one of them comes unhooked, all right? So if you're like me, kind of lazy, get everything ready beforehand, okay? So I got everything down here I'll need, and I'm gonna start getting all these unplugged, then I'll bring you back. Just for a little clarification, see, all of those, everything has to be unplugged from this thing. All of them, okay? All right, so the old exhaust is out. The owner showed up, so I went ahead and utilized some help getting it loaded. And when I say utilize help getting loaded, he loaded it. So we're putting the new exhaust in. Some of the things I recommend, I'm trying to get over there, use a jack to get it up. The bolts that go from the motor side to the exhaust, the nuts are welded onto the exhaust. I did the same thing on my truck. You thought I'd remember it, but I didn't. I tried to cut the bolts, and I started to cut the bolts, but I realized all I have to do is go to the head side of the bolt and it'll come right out. But the new one comes with new bolts to put in, and that's the reason why they do that. So anyways, I don't want my phone to get damaged, so I'm gonna go ahead and just stop it here. I'll bring you back when I got the exhaust bolted back up in there. All right, so this was such a pain. When you go to do this, this is gonna be a little bit longer than that, than what it needs to be, or you would think. So I take a ratchet tie and I hook at the very back of the exhaust where it comes out the back of the truck. There's a hanger there. I hook up to that hanger and I ratchet it back and I jiggle it around, then I ratchet it some more and I jiggle it around, ratchet it some more. And it'll put a pretty good sized gap in there, okay? Then I put everything on there, or put the bolts in there just very loosely. And then I go back to the front and I tighten the front up. And then I'll go back here to the back, I'll tighten the back up, and I'll use the jack to make sure I get all the hangers put in, like this hanger right there. Yeah, you can't really see it. It's right. I bet I can scoot that up in there. Right, este. Last thing I do is put the clamp on there. This is, it is such a pain to do this, but once you're done, it's done. So we got all these tightened up, all the bolts put in.